Good afternoon. Actually, good morning. Sorry, it is morning time here. But yes, good morning. Sorry, I was just doing a couple of technical things there really quick. Still trying to figure out all this Twitch stuff. But, or good afternoon or good evening if you find yourself in another part of the world. This is Hinton's Hobbies. I'm Hinton. Struggling with Twitch and trying to figure out how that all works, but I'm getting there, I think. Anyway, I'm not sure how long this stream is going to last. It's kind of an impromptu thing. I just want to work on the tower, maybe do some more painting on the Thyra bust from Toy Doy Minis. And so, like I talked last stream, if I'm working on hobby stuff, I'm probably going to start streaming. So it might be about an hour or so. I don't know for sure, but I do have a better idea of what I want to do with the tower. That's one thing I was talking about yesterday. Is started working on it. Wasn't really sure what I wanted to do, but I have a much better idea now. So, and hopefully my audio levels are good. If anyone's out there, just give me a thumbs up if things are okay. If music's too loud or too soft. If I'm too loud or too soft, whichever. So, working on the tower, I've got the basis of the walls done. I have these pieces that were actually from a bell tower that I had been building. And so I have these spare pieces. These are going to be little alcoves. They're going to sit on the side, I think. On the side of the tower like that. I might put some figures in there, like little statues, I'm not sure. But I'll figure that out when I get there, when I get closer. Also going to make a small pedestal. It's actually in two pieces, but you put it together. This is going to actually go on the top of the tower, and I'm thinking about some figure to put on top, like a statue or something like that. So working on several things at once, so just diving right in. So hopefully you're all having a good day today, or you've had a good day if it's winding down for you. And if you're watching this on video on demand or on YouTube, hey, I appreciate you doing that. Taking the time to fire it up and give a listen while I work on things. I am also going to be working on better lighting for this bench. This is my project bench, and I'm used to just doing big stuff here. Not used to streaming it. I have everything set up for my painting area. So yeah, hopefully I'll get that all straightened out. Someday I will get this all figured out, I hope. So that's going to go together. Just like that. And we'll set that off to the side as well. I do have the archway. I originally had these pieces, this was glued to here, but I decided to turn them around. I think it looks better this way. So that's going to be the front archway of the tower. So I'm going to start building the tower. This piece is off to the side. So 4 inches wide and about 5 inches long. And I actually have, grab this back here. This is the base that it's going to sit on. This is why I'm setting it to be this size. So the tower will actually sit on this little wooden base here. It's just a piece of craft wood. So put this up, and I'll probably do like a little bit of terrain. Things like dirt, grass, bushes, things like that. So, but we won't be doing that to that just yet. I want to build the tower itself. Make sure it's got a high spot here. Hold on. Need to sand this down a bit. Hold on, I gotta turn on my air compressor here. My airbrush. Oops, don't get that caught in there. That'd be bad. There we go. There we go. better. That's why I glue these upside down. It's because this is the top and the sides. It's easier to sand this down and get it nice and level. So, there we go. I only want to make this, say, about 6 inches tall. I don't want it to be really big. I'm still debating with the archway when I put it here, if I put a piece of black foam core. Well, hello, Anna Jane. How are you? Didn't see you sneak in there. A piece of black foam core in the back of this to just make it dark. Or if I'm actually going to do something on the inside, and you can look inside and see like a table or chairs or something like that. I'll figure that out when I get closer. Yeah, that's smoother. Sorry if that's really loud. I'm going to move this away from the microphone a little bit. I'm good. I just woke up. Did you sleep in or did you take a nap? Let me grab my square here. Apart. Yeah, I'm grabbing my square here, but I took it apart, so I'm going to put it back together. I think it's going to go in there. Let me grab the other one. Teach you to take things apart, maybe. Doubt it. On you. There we go. Yeah, grabbing my square. I had to put it back together. So I want to get that lined up there. Oops. Oh, in there. There we go. Okay, that's good. Slept in. Probably still sleeping. Did you have a late night? Is that why you slept in, or just one of those things? And it's important sometimes, you know. Get some rest. If your body tells you that you need rest, you should listen to it. But yeah, like I talked last stream, I'm going to stream when I'm working on the hobby. So there may be times where I'm just firing this up for like 30 minutes. And I know traditional wisdom is you shouldn't do that. You should stream for a couple of hours because you can grow your audience and things like that. But I'm not overly concerned about that just right now. I know what I need. Grab my Duplo blocks. I just walked around a lot yesterday. Oh yeah, with your girls' day that you were doing with your friends. Duplo blocks, giant Legos. Great way to make sure things are squared up when you're building things like this. Okay, there we go. And then on these ends, where this is going to go like this, I should probably see about changing my camera angle a little bit maybe, so you can see better, but the little 1/2-inch blocks will go in here, and 1-inch blocks will go in here, and it'll just build up on the sides. But I'm not going to worry about that right now. Just working on getting some of this built up here so I can get ready to paint it. Because that's the thing, the paint needs time to set, dry, and cure. If you paint it too soon, the glue turns soft and things fall apart, as I have learned the hard way. I used to stream for like an hour. It was what I was comfortable with, and now I stream for 4 hours if I can. Oh, cool. I don't think I could do 4 hours. That's a bit much for me. 2 hours that I do on, like I did yesterday, was a little bit of a push. Actually, I think I'm going to go ahead and get these set, because otherwise this may not go together right. I'm not going to put the door in yet. I'm just putting it there for reference, to make sure that it will fit. Yes, okay. Let's go ahead and do that. Oh, excuse me, I have to cough for a second. Oh, excuse me. Jeez. Not sure where that came from. Okay, I'm going to glue these in. I'm going to put this here as a reference. Okay, just like that. Just like that. Okay, let's go ahead and glue this in. Put a dot of glue back there. There we go. And drop glue back there. Okay. So yeah, this tower is just going to be a thing I'm going to put on my bookcase. Oops, sorry, I bumped the camera there. Gotta be careful now. Just to be a decoration amongst my books. I was thinking of doing something a bit more grandiose, but no, not quite there yet. Like I said, this is just, I'm doing this on the fly, like, just making it up as I go along. Oops. Before I do that, oh yeah, that's a really bad high spot. Hold on, sorry, I'm gonna do some sanding. Gonna get kind of loud here for a second. There we go. Nice and flat. Nice and flat. I might just add a quick sand to it. I'm going swimming with a whole bunch of people. Well, that'll be fun. You doing that today? Because it's going to be E's first time, isn't it? Okay. I'm actually going to build this in sections. I think right about there is where I want the alcoves. I want them up a bit, but not too high, if that makes sense. Yes, I think that is a good place for the alcoves. Yes, at 12:45. It's going to be A's too. That is true. That is true. It will be A's first time experiencing water. I like that. Well, I hope you all have fun. Be safe. Wear sunscreen. Say hello to everyone for me, if you would be so kind. Okay. There we go. Let's gently. Put this in here to make sure that this is. Yes. I think that's going to work just fine. Just fine like that. I hope they like it, and I will. I'm sure they will. It'll be a new experience for them. So is that halfway's about here, right? Let me grab my ruler. So 4.5 inches. Oh, that's fine. I don't mind that at all. That's right. I was thinking about putting that on front. That's where I messed up. But that's okay. 4.5 inches. So, quick on it, Jane. What's half of 4.5? I'm probably going to head out. We have to get a new swimsuit for Elle. Oh, yeah, I'm sure you do. And to answer the question, it's 2.25. So 2.25 would be right about there. So what I need to do, I don't know if it's just a perception thing, but the two openings look off. It's probably a perception thing, the way the camera's sitting. I don't want to tilt it up because it's still glued. But yeah, I don't know if that helps the perspective at all. Yeah, I gotta let it set. Otherwise, it's not gonna, see, now I just skewed it. Arg! Go back together. Put you back together. There we go. Put that back together. Oh, that looks better. Okay, well, it's like I said, it's probably the perspective. I think I need to adjust my camera angle a little bit so that it's more down and forward facing instead of from this top side. I don't think that's really working to give it a good look. So I will probably try to do that today. My bad, I just looked really off. No, you're fine. It's no worries. Oh, no, actually, I'll use this one. Yeah, it's just the perspective, I think. Let's try to see if I can set up something a little bit, excuse me, a little bit better, a little bit more cohesive. So 2.25 is there. 2.25 is there. I'm going to paint these. Well, actually, they'll be covered up, so I don't care if they're marked. I mark on them. And these are 1-inch blocks. So all I have to do is mark 1/2 inch. 1/2 inch. And then these marks, do it on camera, just line up with these marks, and that's the center of the building. Just like that. There we go. So, I don't want to glue those in place just yet. When doing Excuse me, I can clear my throat. Excuse me. Sorry about that. All right, I'm going to head out now. Hope you have a good stream. Thank you very much, Aunt Jane. Have fun swimming. Definitely get some photos for me, please. It'll be photos and videos. It'll be interesting to see how that goes for everyone. So, have fun. Sorry, this one was a little cattywampus on me here. Leaning back a little bit more than I liked. There we go. It's still tilting a little bit. There we go. That's better. So I'm not going to glue those in place yet, but I am going to put the bricks around. So in doing towers and stuff like that, I do it in sections. It's easier to paint that way. Trying to paint it all once it's all together is difficult. Again, I learned that from experience. So if I put that there, and I do a couple of 1-inch blocks. Nope, I'm going to need some 3/4-inch blocks. That's what I like about the 3/4-inch blocks, is they do fill in quite nicely when needed. 3/4 inch. I had more over here. Let me grab some. I'm going to be right back. Oops. I am knocking stuff all over the place here. This is what I get for being ill-prepared. It's just like, oh, I'm going to work on hobby stuff, so I'm going to start streaming. I am not ready. It's okay, though. It's partly why I'm doing this, is to get used to streaming and doing things like this. Ooh, that's a little bit more off than I like. No, that's right. 3/4 inch. So let's do that. Oops, get back in. Can I fit a 1/2-inch block in there? I think I can. Oh, come in there. That's your home. Go into your home. Yeah, that'll work exactly like that. Perfect. I like that. So here we'll do a 3/4 inch block, 1/2-inch block, 1-inch block. Just like that. Okay. So to remember how it goes together, put it down, turn it over, so that it looks just like that. I'll do the same. That reminds me how it's supposed to be glued together, because I can't always think spatially like that. So if I make sure that I take them and set them the way that they need to be, then all the better. Okay, set those back there. Oops. Glue these just like that. These will get glued just like that. Go. And glue these. Get those set. Check my blocks. There we go. There we go. That keeps. Oh, shoot. My My lid got stuck inside my holder. Hold on. Well, I am just having a day. There we go. Just had to grab some needle nose pliers. Oop. My compressor's still on. Let me turn that off. So for this back piece, I am going to go ahead and glue this into place. Right, so it's going to sit like this. Yes, because it's going to be upside down. There we go. Let me scoot that up a little bit there so you can see. There we go. And check. Oops. There we go. Okay. Now, I'll let those set for now before I continue on. So, I think I'm at a pretty good stopping point for this for now. And then from here I'll build it up. This will be probably like 2 levels higher. So, about that tall. What is that? That's about 5 inches. I probably might go a couple more levels. Yeah, I might go a couple more levels higher. So I'm just going to let all of that sit. And I'm going to switch over. Just tapping out my sandpaper there. Going to switch over to the main, to my painting bench. That's where I have my Thyra bust. Working on this. This is from Toy Doy Minis. It was a Kickstarter that I backed. I really like this sculpt. This is the bust, and it also came with a full body miniature that you can do a whole scene with it and everything. So yeah, started on the skin tones, dropped in a few shadows, got the eyes started. Right now it looks like her eyes are kind of bloodshot, so I'm going to give that another coat of linen white. I don't use pure white for eyes. Even linen white's going kind of bright, but he's okay. So let's see here. Just very gently. Very gently. Don't mess this up. Little bit of paint, not a whole lot. Don't want a whole lot of paint because you don't want to have your brush explode as soon as you touch the mini, which can be a problem. I know I've experienced that many times. Don't do that. I just grabbed a clean dry brush and took out the little bit of excess paint where I moved in the wrong way, because I'm trying to do this detail work and talk at the same time. I glue on my finger. So, yeah, there we go. That'll work. And doing her as a redhead, I know maybe kind of stereotypical kind of thing, but hey, I like redheads. So it's going to be my miniature. I'm going to paint it the way I want. So now I'm going to do Auburn Shadow from Reaper Paints, Reaper Miniatures. I had put in a base of, what was it? Oh, chestnut brown, yeah, from Reaper as well. So I'm going to do an Auburn Shadow. I think that looks a little bit better. A bit more red to it than brown. So if you have just discovered this channel, welcome. If you're wondering what the heck I do, as you can see, I do build things. Those are plaster blocks cast with Hearst Arts Castle molds. And I do like assembling things like that. I know foam core, or like foam, is probably a little bit more popular because it's a little bit easier and cheaper to do. The plaster I use is not cheap, unfortunately. But I prefer the plaster. I do have a hot wire cutter. I can cut the foam blocks and stuff like that. And I have, excuse me, and I have done that in the past, but I really like the plaster blocks. I also paint miniatures. I do some woodworking, not major woodworking. I don't build like cabinets or anything like that, or tables. I did build my workbenches and all the shelves for my workbenches from scratch, cutting down plywood and 2x4s and so on and so forth. But I don't know if I'll do any of that. There is I think it's still up on YouTube. I don't think I took it down. When I built my workbenches, there's a video over there. I also do chess sets. I do regular chess sets, flat on the table. And then, like, if you're looking at the previous work there, they just rolled by. I also do vertical chess sets. They go up on the wall. You can actually mount them on the wall. And those I've made quite a few. I've done quite a few commissions of those, which was fun. Definitely an interesting challenge. I like doing those. Pieces are 3D printed. I do 3D printing as well for myself. I don't do it like professionally. I'm not that good of a 3D printer. Yeah, that's pretty much what I do. I have various hobbies. Right now I wanted to paint this one, this particular bust, because it's a really amazing sculpture. I'm really looking forward to how it's going to turn out. I hope it turns out well. I hope I do it justice. I'm not a professional painter by any stretch of the imagination. I don't enter contests. I don't win awards or trophies or anything like that. I just paint because I enjoy it. I make things because I enjoy it. Do a lot of dice towers too. I've actually given quite a few of those away as gifts. I gotta learn to stay in frame here. I adjusted my camera. My camera used to be like way over here, and it was causing me to slump forward. So now I have to get used to being here and working in this spot. So I'm trying to paint and keep an eye on my camera position. Make sure I'm in camera and in focus. So apologies if I wander away. You need to set up some kind of sound alert that you all can push that says, hey, you're out of camera range. Get back in there. And as I learn more about Twitch, maybe I can actually come up with something like that. And speaking of Anna Jane, who was just here, she is also a streamer. You should go and check out her channel. Matter of fact, let me do a quick thing here. Sorry, brushing my teeth. There we go. That's her channel. She is a more traditional painter. Paints on canvas and things like that. She's done some, I don't want to say experimental stuff, but stuff that kind of takes her out of her comfort zone. But for the most part, it's just traditional acrylics and I think some oils, like water-based oils, on canvas. And she's really, really good. So yeah, pop on over and check her out whenever she's streaming. Give her a follow. Her streaming schedule, I don't want to say is erratic, but it's erratic. That's what happens with having kids. She has a little boy. And so he keeps her pretty busy. Oops, don't touch your paint job, Johnny. And if you're curious about the music, this is from Kevin MacLeod at Incomptech. It's royalty-free music. I do credit it in the panels below. Oh, speaking of the panels below, not that I'm saying you have to do anything like that. I did set up a tip jar kind of thing. If you want to tip the artist, all it does is help pay for hobby supplies and for various things related to the channel. It's not for well, I mean, it's for me, but it's not for me. It's to pay for hobby supplies and things like that. But don't feel obligated. You don't have to do it. It's fine. If you watch this on YouTube, well, then it doesn't mean anything because I don't have a tip jar at YouTube. But if you feel like throwing a few pennies my way, then I would certainly appreciate it. I've always had trouble asking for money, and I always feel kind of bad about it. Personally, I would much rather have followers or subscribers on YouTube and people just tuning in to check stuff out, hopefully get inspired. I mean, that's, I know, a bit grandiose to probably think, but if what I do helps inspire you, then all the better. All the better. Okay. So, I'm going to do a bit more on the skin. I'm using tan skin from Reaper Miniatures. Get in the camera focus. And I'm using really thin layers to try and build this up, trying to avoid it looking too chalky. That was always a problem I had when I first started painting, is I did not thin my paint anywhere close enough. And it would always wind up looking really, really chalky. So if you're starting out painting miniatures and you're like, why does my paint job always look so chalky? It's probably because you're not thinning your paints enough. You don't want to over thin them either. That's part of the problem that I always had trouble finding that sweet spot. And some days I still over thin. I think there is a hair stuck on there. Oh, that sucks. That's okay though. I can fix it. I can fix it. I can fix it. At least I can try anyway. I'm not worried too much about being too clean right through here, because I will come back and paint over that later. So yeah, when painting, you start from the inside out. So you start with the skin tones. Basically, as somebody said, you do it the way you get dressed. So you start with the flesh tones, and then you work your way out. So that's what I'm trying to do. And so yeah, as far as my streaming schedule, like I said, I have a regular time, which is Sundays 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Central Time in the U.S. The rest of the times, it's pretty much up for grabs. Basically, whenever I have time, whenever I feel like jumping on and doing something, it will probably be anywhere from 30 to 60 minutes, maybe an hour and a half, depending on what I have going on. I am an early riser, so might be catching me early in the morning. If not, as I said, you can catch me on YouTube or the video on demand, which if you do, very cool. I appreciate that. I was really surprised my last stream actually had quite a few video on demand viewers, which is interesting. And I appreciate that. It's one thing my grandmother taught me, is there are two things you never discuss in polite company: religion and politics. So I try to avoid those subjects. Of course, we talk about hobby stuff, naturally. Gaming, especially if you're into gaming. I am. Board games, video games, card games, things like that. But yeah, trying to think of things to talk about. One thing I can try to talk about, sort of, is movies. I'm also a big movie watcher. And I watched a movie a while back called Time Trap. If you haven't seen this, you can check that out. I think it's on Netflix. I think is where I saw it. Like I said, it was a few weeks ago. Very interesting movie. Group of students, their professor goes missing. And so they go looking for him in this cave, and there's more to the cave than meets the eye. It's not a horror story. It's not like, you know, like The Hills Have Eyes or anything like that, where it's, you know, cannibalistic humanoid underground dwellers. That's Chud, not Hills Have Eyes, but you get the idea. But it's more of a sci-fi. I don't want to give too much away. No spoilers. But it's an interesting movie. And I liked it. It was an interesting premise. So you can go and check that out. I'm trying to think of anything else I've watched recently. I started watching Fubar with Arnold Schwarzenegger on Netflix. A couple episodes in, it's interesting. I don't know if I'm completely sold on it. It's only 8 episodes though, so I suppose I can watch them and see how it turns out, but I don't know. It's got some funny moments in it. Got some action stuff going on. What else have I watched recently? Can't think of anything really new or special. I tend to rewatch a lot of things just because I like them and I know them. Especially like the Nero Wolfe mysteries that was on A&E back in the early 2000s with Timothy Hutton and Maury Chaykin. Maury Chaykin? Chaykin? Love Nero Wolfe. I'm a big Rick Stout fan. I have quite a few Nero Wolfe books, or Rick Stout books with Nero Wolfe. I really liked how they did the show. If you haven't seen it, you should check it out. If you like mysteries, it's pretty good. Of course, having read the books, I already knew what was going to happen in the show, but during the episodes, but they stayed really, really true to the books, especially the spirit of it and the characters and things like that. They didn't try to like update it or anything. I'm liking how that skin's turned out. That's really good. I'm liking that. Yeah. But if you have a chance, check that out as well. It only lasted a couple of seasons, unfortunately. I wish they would have kept going and doing some more, like, they never got around to doing, like, Fer-de-Lance or Some Buried Caesar, things like that, which are interesting stories. But that's the way it goes, and they never will. I mean, Maury Chaykin passed away several years ago, so unfortunately that's the end of that. So, okay. Well, I got some more work done on her. I'm liking how it's looking so far, so I think I'm going to let that dry. Hey, wash your brush. Okay, well, a bit of a short stream. I know that. Let's see here. Well, then I am going to ramp it up there and call it good because I just wanted to get a few more coats on, a little bit more paint on Thyra, and I wanted to put together some more on the tower. So I'm going to call it there. I might be on later today yet, after the glue dries and things like that. But otherwise, thank you for watching. Thanks for stopping by. And have a great day, y'all. Take care of yourselves.